Hey everyone, it's Zach, and today I wanted to talk about kind of a niche pick that I think is going to be good in Series 3, aka Regulation C. If you guys enjoy this content, do not forget to like and subscribe, but let's jump into it. I think Tsareena could be really good into these rune Pokemon. Now, hear me out here, it is kind of weird, and you will have to position well with your Tera, but other than that, I think that this could really do well into a lot of the rune Pokemon and support it really well. For those of you who don't know, Queenly Majesty is a ability that blocks priority moves. We see this with Armor Tail on Farigiraf, Psychic Terrain on Indeedee Female and Indeedee Male, and then Dazzling with Bruxish, if you've seen a Bruxish on ladder. I haven't. But the one thing that makes Queenly Majesty unique is that you aren't psychic type, so you aren't weak to these dark type Pokemon, where Farigiraf, Indeedee, and Bruxish are all psychic types and do not deal well with any dark type move coming from Chien-Pao. It has a solid 98 defense, 98 special defense, and 72 defense, a little bulky, so we have the Assault Vest here to help it out, and the moves we have are Trop Kick, low kick, U-turn, and Play Rough. The reason why we have low kick over high jump kick is because I honestly don't want a well-timed protect knocking out half my HP. But in some situations, high jump kick would be better here, but I feel like low kick is just a happy medium. And so when we look at what's common, we see Chien-Pao is usually running Dragonite or Palafin, something with priority. Tsareena blocks that, so a well-timed switched in Tsareena can actually do really well, and I do have some Showdown clips from Herald HD and I to show that off. Low kick is a guaranteed one-shot on Chien-Pao. Let's see. Yeah, no, they do factor in that it doesn't affect it, but it's always going to knock out Chien-Pao here with just 76 investment on a adamant Tsareena. You could change it so it's a little bulkier. You could probably get away with something that helps out with more of the defense, because that is the one thing that's really hurts it. Against Chien-Pao, you basically have to terrestrialize, which could bring up some trouble against Palafin, teams that also have Palafin as well. So with Ice Spinner here, Ice Spinner is basically an 88% chance to knock out without terrestrialization, but we have the Tera Fire here, and that will basically guarantee the one shot on Chien-Pao as long as it's not Focus Sash. Most of them have been running Focus Sash, but from here you're taking 50% from Crunch, 57 at most, 58%, and something along the lines of 43 from Sacred Sword. And if you can pivot in, Intimidates from Arcanine or something along those lines, get a burn off, it's really good. Just being able to stop catching Dragonite on a switch in is really good, because it's not going to take any damage from extreme speed because it stops priority, and not only that, but it protects your teammates. So as long as you don't lead it into the Dragonite and give the Dragonite a chance to use one of its other moves, you're in a pretty good position. And even then, Dragonite has to factor in whether it's running Fire Punch or Earthquake if you're going to Tera, which you still probably should, but if you Tera here, Earthquake will do basically a guaranteed knockout. And at 101 speed, at a base 72 speed, if the Dragonite for some reason doesn't have any speed investment, you do outspeed the Dragonite. So that could be really good for landing Play Roughs if they choose not to terrestrialize, doing 58%, or you could do a Trop Kick to start off to break that multi-scale and to bring them down to -1. At a -1, you're taking those hits a lot better, even if you do terrestrialize. And let's bring in the Swords of Ruin. So you do have to play it right. You really can't lead the Tsareena against the Dragonite, but then you can also have things to, deal with the Dragonite as well. So it's about playing Tsareena well when it comes to the Dragonite Gen Pal matchup. With Palafin, it's a little trickier because you want to Tera Fire for... You want to Tera Fire to take the, you know, the Ice Spinner better, but at the same time, you don't want to Tera Fire in front of a Palafin. When it comes to Chi-Yu and Fluttermane combination is what really threatens Tsareena the most, and that's where the Tera Fire comes in handy. Tera Fire is going to deal with fire attacks from Chi-Yu, and it's also going to make it a little more resistant to the fairy attacks from Fluttermane. So we look here with a Tera Fire. The most they're doing is 50%, 62 if they click Dark Pulse, which is, you know, the standard move from Chi-Yu. But you can also U-turn and do decent chip. You can play rough and get 50% damage if you land it, or you can low kick. Low kick here is going to be the worst move because Chi-Yu is so small and tiny. Low kick isn't going to do that much. That's where something like high jump kick would have its advantages, but I think with the threat of it missing, low kick is better overall. So if we see here, the only thing you have to worry about is if you want to click low kick, it's been pretty common for Chi-Yu to be Tera Ghost, so that's something I would watch out for, because if it does terrestrialize, Trop Kick's going to do a lot more, which is unexpected, but low kick isn't going to do any damage. You shouldn't be clicking low kick here anyway. You should always be clicking play rough if you want to go into the Chi-Yu, but you can also go into the Fluttermane instead. Fluttermane is going to take 60 to 70% damage with Trop Kick. Trop Kick there being the best move to use against Fluttermane. You're not one-shotting any of these two. Tsareena has a weaker matchup against these two, but overall as a standard, you're doing pretty well, just being a good support mon. You can obviously just U-turn out as well, but if we Tera Fire here, if we don't Tera, you're taking 30 to 40 from Moonblast. You're only taking less than 30 from Dazzling Gleam, and Shadow Ball is going to be the most damage. But if we Tera Fire, the Dazzling Gleam is not doing much and the Moonblast is not doing much. So even if they double up and hit you with a Dark Pulse and a Dazzling Gleam, because of the Assault Vest, you're still going to be able to survive and at least do some decent chip, which could bring in a mon like Palafin to handle the rest. Next up is Ting-Lu. Now, Ting-Lu is one of the bulkier mons. It's probably the first mon that you don't want to terrestrialize against. And Tsareena chips it really good with low kick, doing 36 to 43% damage. Play rough does a decent amount as well. And Trop Kick. Trop Kick is probably the best move here against Ting-Lu, because every time you hit it, you're going to bring it down one, which is going to be great because Ting-Lu is really something that chips on the field. So you can use this to weaken the Ting-Lu and make it not so much of a problem, especially with things like Rock Slide, Earthquake, Bulldoze, and Snarl. You do still have to worry about like the Ruination taking 50% or something like a Fissure actually landing, but those are risks you're going to take either way. And I think being able to hit this bulky mon with 100 EV and max HP for 45%, or you can do the almost guaranteed 40% and lower its attack, I think that puts you in a really good position against it. Last up is the Wo-Chan. Wo-Chan is actually going to bring down Tsareena's attack, so that's something that you have to keep in mind. But here it's really good because Wo-Chan is kind of played passive. You'll see things like Leech Seed, Giga Drain, Foul Play, Snarl, Ruination, and the most you have to worry about is the Foul Play here. So you could Tera Fire, but I think in most cases, like Tera Fire is not going to be that beneficial. It would probably be more beneficial to terrestrialize something that's next to Tsareena or save it for a more opportunistic occasion. But going out into U-turn here is going to do 45 to 50% damage, and that's with the attack drop. And the only thing you're taking is foul play here. And unless they have some speed investment, like, you're always going to be able to U-turn first. So I think being able to chunk Wo-Chan for almost a guaranteed 50% is pretty good here. Especially because the Mon wants to do like lead seed things, it wants to do recovery things. And with Tsareena on the field, or if you switch in Tsareena, it can't do that with leech seed at least. It still can click Giga Drain, but Giga Drain isn't doing that much here. I love that. Might as well Thunderbolt a Landorus. But that's Tsareena as like a little bit of a sleeper pick. I do have some Showdown replays. I have one from me and then 2 from Herald HD. We've kind of been talking about Tsareena being a little bit of a sleeper, and it works really well. Here you can see it has the bad matchup here of the Chi-Yu and the Flutter Mane. And then right here, the Chi-Yu and the Flutter Mane. And this is the only match where you really only have to worry about the Arcanine, and then it does everything else pretty well. So let's make sure the music is off. So I lead Iron Hands Palafin. And they lead Chien-Pao and Dragonite. So right now they have a little bit of an advantage, but we have Palafin, so we do have some priority on the field. Not that strong of a priority because it's not the superhero form. And then we have a bulky Mon like Iron Hands, which can, for a temporary moment, deal with the weakened state of the defense drops. So we just switch in Tsareena here. Dragonite terrestrializes. We block the extreme speed. And we get everything back with Drain Punch, and we take out the Dragonite. Chi-Yu comes out here. We take the Heat Wave pretty well. We take the Ice Spinner still. And then we have put Palafin in a position to win here. And they just forfeit. Granted, this was at 1200s, but it's still like a good match. Here is a match from Herald. We see the Chi-Yu Flutter Mane lead, and he just goes Mouse Ape. The Tera Fire Annihilate takes the Fairy and the fire attacks much better. And Annihilate here is just going to start bringing knockouts. So we see Chi-Yu come out. Switch in the Tsareena to stop the extreme speed. Dark Pulse is going to get the knockout on Chi-Yu. And then they're just Amoonguss and Dragonite. And Dragonite can't do anything here because it locked into extreme speed. So you just keep Tsareena on the field and you deal with the Mons. I think this match right here at the time got Herald to top 100 at the time in Regulation C. So he's running Vivillon and Sand, which I think is really interesting. I didn't get to talk to him much about this. And there's a Jolteon. I love Herald. He runs the craziest stuff. So we bring up Tsareena. He sleeps to Sylveon. Spore does nothing to Tsareena. It's immune to Spore. He just starts chunking. Safety goggles on the Vivillon. But he's now in a really good position here. And Tropkit's just gonna almost knock out the Dodonzo, but bring in the Sand. And they can't sucker punch here. Bring the U-turn, preserve the well, you would preserve the Tsareena, but the Rocky Helmet knocked it out. And this at the time got him to 1317. And I think he said he got to 1355 with it, with the Tsareena, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that's going to be all. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you think of Tsareena? Do you think Tsareena is a good pick to help deal with these rune Pokemon, being a dark type and having access to things like low kick, U-turn, the Assault Vest, Trop Kick? I think these are all good tools, especially with its ability, Queenly Majesty. You get a way to stop priority from a Pokemon that's not Psychic type. So Terrestrialization is an option here, but it's not required on Tsareena. And if you want to bulk it out differently and use it more of support with Protect and Helping Hand with a Citrus Berry, you could maybe afford to run things like Low Kick. But I think here, if you wanted to do that, you just do something like a Citrus Berry, and like you would just want to leave it on the field. You could have the Tera Fire here just in case. So like U-turn, Trop Kick, Helping Hand and Protect. Max out the HP. What did I do? I did 244. Why did I do 244? We'll do it on an even. Yeah. Do maybe a Careful Nature. Find a bump. Be 172. And I don't know if that would work, because you still have to deal with the defense, but you could always Tera Fire or Protect to deal with the Chen Pao. Just having Tsareena on the field, but this speed here would outspeed like a 4-speed Dragonite. It would outspeed a 20-speed Dragonite, which was the set that originally came with it. It originally came with 20, so you could do this to just outspeed Dragonites. But I don't know if that's a good calc to deal with. I would just go for the 101. Put some in defense and then put one in attack. I haven't tested this one out. I have been using this one on a team that I've been doing pretty okay with, but that's gonna be all. Let me know what you think about Tsareena in the comments down below, and if you guys enjoyed this, do not forget to like and subscribe. Also, let me know, do you want to keep seeing some Series 2 content, or do you just want me to move on to Regulation C? Either way, that's going to be all. Until next time, I'm Zach. We'll see everyone later.